Hi there, my name's Deanna, and thank you for joining me today for what is my book haul for the end of September / the beginning of fall. So I picked up just a couple books, not too much, just to celebrate my favorite reading season. Fall is like one of my favorite times to read. It's a perfect time to just sit inside and get cozy with a blanket and a cup of tea and just get immersed in a book. Fall and winter are my favorite reading seasons, and so I was so excited when the cooler weather came. So the first book that I picked up is the second book to the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. This is the second summer of the Sisterhood. I got this just for $2 at a used bookstore. My half-price books in my area is actually closing to relocate to the city next to us, so they're having a huge 60% off sale, and I got about probably 5 books, I think, for really cheap. Like, it was their bargain price minus 60%, so basically everything was around $1.60, maybe a little bit more. So this I got really cheap, not in the best condition, but I'm really wanting to read this probably in the summer of next year, because I picked up a couple more. I got the third book, Girls in Pants, to go along with the series, and then I got the fourth book, the Forever in Blue. So that's the conclusion to the YA half. I know there is a adult novel of, I think it's Sisterhood Everlasting, and I want to read that one too. I just haven't found it yet. Then at my half-price books, I found The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I've heard so much about this book. I've really wanted to read it since Sam loves it so much. She's at Thoughts on Tomes. And yeah, I got this also for like maybe $1.50, and it's in really good condition, and I can't wait to dive into this. I know it's about a traveling circus that hosts two magicians that face off against each other, I believe. So it sounds like a really interesting concept and very magical, so I'm excited to read this probably in the winter. And lastly, at my half-price bookstore, I got The Storied Life of A.J. Thickery. Also originally $5, and I got it for like, yeah, $1.50 I think. So yeah, this I don't know too much about. I know Reagan at Peruse Project talked about this a little bit. I think it's about a guy who owns a bookstore, and then some kind of magical realism, I think, comes in there. And lastly, I went to a book festival in Toronto over the weekend, and it was called The Word on the Street. It was a free book festival, books and magazines as well, and it was hosted on the waterfront there. So they had a bunch of tents set up for guest speakers. They had a bunch of bookstores selling books there, and they had also publishers there. One of the authors, a Canadian author, was going to be there and talking and signing books, and so I brought the book that I owned by him to get signed, and that is Andre Alexis. He wrote this book called 15 Dogs, which is about 15 dogs who develop human intelligence, and they bond together. I haven't read this book yet, but I'm really looking forward to it. I love books told in the perspective of dogs. I read The Art of Racing in the Rain by Garth Stein, and that was such a phenomenal book, and so I really want to read this. And then Andre was really great, and he signed it for me right down there. So it was a really good time, and I had so much fun at the festival. Then I went to the HarperCollins tent, and I picked up 2 things. The first was I got this free little chapter sampler of Carve the Mark by Veronica Roth. She wrote the Divergent series, and I loved the first 2 books. Last one not so much for obvious reasons, and but I really want to see what her new work will be about, so I got this little sampler. And lastly, I picked up Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda, and me and my boyfriend were both really interested in reading this, so it was a really good find. It was for 30% off, so it was pretty good. I know this is about a boy who is gay, and he starts chatting with a guy from his school, but the identity is hidden from the guy he's chatting to, so he doesn't know who it is in the school, and it's all about their story. And then we stopped by my favorite used bookstore in Toronto, BMV, and I found this amazing copy of Jane Eyre. I've never read Jane Eyre. I'm so excited to read it though, because I love Fire. I got it for $7.99. It was originally $22, so I got a steal on it. And fire is my favorite element, so when I saw this beautiful cover with fire on the front, I couldn't resist it. Look at the spine, it's so pretty too, and it's got deckled edges, and it is really gorgeous, so now I'm super motivated to read this. And lastly, at the BMV tent, we picked up Great Tales of Horror by H.P. Lovecraft for $10. It's a really nice hardcover. It's pretty thick, but it's got a whole bunch of different stories in it. They're all listed on the back here of the different stories in the book. This is perfect for the Halloween time coming up in October, and so I might read a couple stories out of these for the Halloween season. So that was everything for my little beginning of fall book haul. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know if you're interested in any of the books I mentioned, and if you have read them, let me know your general thoughts on them. I would love to know. And I'm sorry I haven't filmed in a while, but I'm getting back into it. It's just the beginning of school was a little bit crazy for me. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.